everybody, welcome back. I hope you had all a good, wonderful weekend crafting and creating beautiful arrangements. My name's Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business called The Flower Batch, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Right guys, today we're going to do just a what's it coming at, 12-inch small grapevine wreath. It's a very thin wreath. It's something that I used to things like this that I used to start practicing on when I was many years younger, and it's one that I've got. It's brand new. I've just took it out of the packet and I thought, well, let's do a 12-inch small thin on a thin wreath, because I know that quite a few people can't get the thicker wreaths, and I'm also in that same situation where I struggle to get the actual proper willow wreaths, and sometimes if I find them, they are quite expensive. So they tend to, over in the UK, it's usually the thin twiggy ones, as I call them, but I like twiggies or twigs. So anyway, I haven't cleaned it up, so I'm going to show you for you new beginners how I clean a wreath up as well. But before we go ahead, I'm just going to go through what we're going to do. I'm just, again, I say small guys, but you know me, it always ends up bigger than it small is in people's eyes anyway. My small is probably what we're going to do today. My big is probably about 80 centimeters, so probably that or bigger, and in between obviously is middle. So I've done a bow already. I'm just doing in one color, in pink. I've got the ruffled taffeta ribbon, and I've done 4 loops on each side and a center loop, and I've done the back loop as 6-inch. That's just over 5.5 inch. That's just over 5-inch, and that is just over 4.5 inch. So I've just gone over the half of an inch on every one. And then I've just got 2 smaller tail ends, not long guys like I usually like them, but just smaller tail ends as well, to show you don't have to have long. So again, that's the wreath, very thin. There's not much to it. I've already placed the hook on, and but we're going to show you how much you can get in these thin wreaths. So I know some people just want the bigger wreaths, the proper willow wreaths, but you can make something with just these thin twiggy wreaths just as beautiful, guys. So we're going to show you how much you can get in these. So that's that. So for our foliage, I've just got, oops, I've got a loose one here. Just got some I think it's Boston fern, if I'm being quite honest, this one. There's that many names for ferns, but I think some have got crocodile fern in here as well. So I've got some Boston fern out, rubbery texture, beautiful. So I want to add in some of that. On our base at the back, again, for you people who are not on a big finance and you want to minimize your budget, I've decided, right, we'll get out the budget foliage to put at the back, basically more for a support for all everything else that's going in front, but it will also look pretty. Now I found these oddments and I took them off of the actual bush or bunch. They are ruscus with white tips, and I placed them all on single picks, but these are all I've got left. I've gone through the whole of the bucket and these are all I've got left, so I'm going to scatter some of these around. But so that means now I know I've not got none left. I'm going to have to get some more. And I've also got out some more fern with the ones with the very, very thin stems. I got these in packs of I think 20, and I've just bunched them all together. There's one where they also with the tape just around it still, so I'll pull that off. So I've just placed them all together, but this is a rubbery texture too. So all these lovely rubbery texture ones, even the fact, oh, brilliant for outdoors, absolutely fabulous. So now I've also got out some flocked ruscus, but a lighter colour. So with it having flocked, it's a different texture. So again, mix the dark with the light, just for things to bounce off of each other, and we will get a lovely effect. So I've got some of those out as well. Now I've just cut some of these off, some of my white mimosa. I thought we could dot some of those around. I cut the stems at this length. Usually I either place them on a single pick, pull one off like that, place it on a single pick, and it spreads further. So again, for you people who are not on a large budget and you can't afford to stock up with lots of certain elements, pull them off individually, spread them further, use them and spread them around further, and you won't use as many, but they will last longer for you. Now I have got, these are the last, I say, scraps and oddments, I think, of my white willow. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to place this in. This is a big question mark, so we'll see. I may add a little bit of white foliage in, but my mind's sort of like one bit saying yeah, the others maybe, so we'll see. So for our foliage, there's not really much foliage, floral guys, but I've got 3 big, beautiful two-tone pink with a bit of green on the odd ends of each petal. Our hydrangeas, aren't they divine? And these are silk. They really do feel real, because I have hydrangeas on my garden because I love them, and these feel just like the petals. So they are beautiful. I've not got them in this colour. I've got them in baby pink and white, but not this one. I may have to invest. And then I've grabbed some white hydrangea, and I've just grabbed 5 pieces, and I've placed them on single picks to show you again with hydrangeas, because you can pull them each off. You can place them on single picks. You can get a head of it like that, which is quite a nice size, and you can use those as well, and they will also go further instead of using the whole of the flower. I've took out some of my favorites, baby pink. Oh, look at these, ranunculus. I don't want a lot in it because it's not a big wreath. I say big, not big, but if I've got any more, I need any more. I've placed them under my bench because I know what I'm like with ranunculus. So I've got the baby pink ranunculus, and I've got 5 stems of them there. Now I've cut off the main stem 5 of my Queen Anne's lace to add again a little bit of white in, just around, maybe around the center or around the hydrangeas, just to give it a different texture, with it being a nice thistly texture, and that also looks pretty. Now I've only found 4 of my favorite gypsophilia left in pink, so again I'm gonna have to search and get some more, but again with these guys, you can pull these off for all you people, and I do it, so pull them off individually if I can. Like that, you get 3 little sprigs on, place a wire or a pick in there, and then you can spread these also further around your arrangement, so they will last longer. I'm all for bargains and budgets and saving, guys. Anything for that. So I've got 4 stems left, but I won't be placing them in as a whole. So I will be splitting them up. So I am going to show again, because I have had I think it was 2 or messages asking if I could show how to, you know, get the most out of your floral and foliage. So I'm going to bring the camera down, and we're going to do it on the bench so you can see as well how I tidy just up the wreath. I don't want to tidy it up too much in case it disappears, because it is thin. It is actually 1 inch thick, well, like that, going around here, 1 inch, which isn't very wide. So let me bring the camera down. You can hear the noise, guys. It's my fan again, because it is absolutely freezing. So if I just place that there, I think you would be able to see there. So as you can see on my wreath, I've got leaves, because they do incorporate some of them. You get them with leaves in. You can just pick those out with your fingers, or if you would like to just leave them in for that little bit of extra interest, that is fine. Majority of the time I leave them in because I like to see them, but if you don't, this is what you can do. Or if you have another way of, you know, just getting them out, then that is fabulous. So as you can see here, we've got these loose twiggy bits sticking out. Just get your snips. Don't go too close with the wire what wraps around it, because then it all will go under and then it'll just keep going. So just take a bit off. I don't do it too far near the wire. So I've just took that little bit off that's sticking out. Then sometimes you get bits like this sticking out. Again, don't go too close to the wire, otherwise it will go back under the wire and you will end up with a longer piece. And you also end up with some of these curly stringy bits. Now some people don't like them. Now I don't mind. On certain arrangements I do take them off, because I do ask my customers if they prefer that, you know, or if they would like the wreath tidying up, because some people have their own preference on how they think a wreath, or they've got in mind that a wreath looks. So just go around snipping those off. That one isn't under the wire, this little curly bit. So with some pieces you can manipulate that wire, just bring it over and it holds it in. So just do that. Now I have a longer one here. Again, I'm not going too close to the wire. I'm leaving about 1/2 inch, because otherwise we'll have the same problem if it goes under the wire. So I'm not going to cut all the twiggy, the swirly bits like this off, okay, again, because I don't mind them, but some of you may. Now you will see the wire here where it's being wrapped. This is the wire. Now sometimes what I tend to do, because it's not very tight on some wreaths, so I tend to unwind it a little bit, just get the longest one and pull it back round a few times so it's a little bit tighter, and then I just twist. I don't cut that off, guys, because I may, you know, I just tuck it under one of the other wires next to it. So I may, you know, need to untidy it up and then take the old wire off if I feel I want to, you know, tighten the whole of the wire by pulling on it. And I know where my starting point is, and I can just unravel it. Again, here it's quite loose, the wire here, as you can see. And that's what I mean. Sometimes you get it where it's tight, sometimes you get it where it's loose. You don't want it too tight, otherwise that's where you're going to struggle to get some of your floral in. Now I'm just moving this one because it's connected to this one here, so I'm just slightly moving that out underneath this wire to give it a bit of, so that that can sit there. And just hold it in a little bit better. And again, you can, if you want, you can turn over and do the opposite side. I'm not quite really fussed. Let's just take that bit off. There's a big piece here just sticking up on its own, so I'm going to do it with the level of the grapevine. So I'm just going to get the flat piece of my snips, place it on there, so it then push it a little bit in so it hides with inside the grapevine. And that is all you need to do. And you can keep going until you're happy, you know, that it's as tidy as you'd like it to be. I'm quite happy with that. Again, I didn't want to snip it too much because, you know, of the thickness of it. I have got a piece sticking up here. I have put my rope here, so when I pull on my rope it flattens it down, so I know that I haven't got any worries with that piece. Right, so let's now start with our foliage. Again, I may not use everything, I always state this, even though I've shown you. I don't always use everything I've got out. Now you can cut these as small as you want and have them as long as you want. Now I'm in two minds because I like to see them like that, but I want to try and keep it as, but if we've got the hydrangeas, you see, take that into consideration, the biggest size of your head. I want 3. 1. Let's have a look. Get your big flowers out, depending on the design you want to do. I was going to do one like that, one like that, and one like that. And then I wanted to have the bow under the center hydrangea here. And this will use a lot of space up or cover a lot of your grapevine, which then you don't have to place in lots. No, something's telling me to keep it like that. So I'm going to keep it like that, so hence then the foliage, because we want to see some of it. So let's see where that goes. There, so I'm going to knead it with just three sets of leaves on. So let's cut that off. In fact, have I got one with 3 on? Yeah, here's 3. So I'm going to go, if you see me do that for you new beginners, I'm just getting the glue strings off and I'm just going under my hook. So then try my floral out again. Yeah, you can see the leaves above it. I'm happy with that. I don't want to cover any foliage with the hydrangeas. They're all big. Oh my goodness me, what have I done? I thought I'd chopped these quite well. And then they come off obviously with a straight center stem, just manipulate it, bend, just to make it look more realistic. So I've gone near the outer side. I'm going to bring one now nearer to the inner side. And again, I want to show you how much you can, if I can get that in, you can get in your little wreaths. They're wonderful. So for some reason I don't think I've cut them with 3 on. Oh, there's one. So oh, I've not received my results from my x-ray guys, so I've ended up ringing them this morning. And the receptionist, because the doctor's supposed to ring me and tell me what's wrong, so I've been waiting for him. So she says to me, oh well, the doctor will ring you later to let you know the results. They have got your results. They've had them, I forgot what she said, over a week now. I said, over a week? I said, so why haven't you rang me then? If you've had them a week, why hasn't the doctor, you know, been bothered to have a look? So they said I've got to ring if by about 5:30 this evening. So now I've gone on the outer side again. I'm coming on the inner side, placing it on the inner side to make it bushy. So you've got the leaves here in the center and here. That's the reason why I'm doing it with 3 on, because this one here will sit around the center. Then you've got 1 then either side. And that's why I love leaves, you know, foliage like this, because you can do that. And again, just slightly bring it out. I don't, 1, 2, 3. I'm saving the 4th leaf that I chop off in case I need it for anything on the inner side. Then we'll come again down here, bringing it in slightly. Back on the outside. Make sure you see there's nothing coming through on this side, so it's still lovely and neat and tidy. Again, just go one way, left and right with your main center stem, and then I tend to bend over as well, so it's got a bit of an arch, as you can see. Going back on the inside, and the thing is with it going on the inside as well, you get these leaves going around the grapevine in around the center. So that helps fill up. And also it helps when it makes it look really pretty when you've got other things in, like your foliage and things like that. So on the outer side, I don't want to go too far. I think I want one more. Then that will be plenty. That's what I want. I may bring that one actually there. Just a little gap here. I did see one. Oh, we'll use this one with 2 on. And we'll cover that little gap around here. Oh, it's caught my ring. So that's what we have going all the way around. I'm just going to manipulate that so it like that. So now when we do put our floral in, we will just part where you see all the space there, and we will place that in, and then you've got your leaves and your foliage coming out from underneath of your hydrangea. So I don't need these little oddments here, so place those with that. And also the bow, I can part that and I can place that there. So what I'm going to do, I think, is this fern. I'm going to place in this one. I like to move things to the side, guys, so there's nothing in the way of your view when you're watching. Because I've watched videos and the tables are a mess. Well, in my eyes, there's well, I say mess, that's all unfair of me. But I've seen where there's lots of things on the workbench while they're doing a video, and I can't see what what they're doing because of it. So I don't like it. Right, I'm going to place these within our ficus. So they're coming out around the back, and I love these. They're very real. I've got fern exactly like this on my garden. I can't remember what it's called. It's just fern is fern to me. And now these are very thin stems, so they're perfect for these little twiggy wreaths. And they are wired, so you can just be wired up to there where it's bent over. So they're wired to there. The rest of that probably 2 inch and a half, 2 inch isn't, but all the rest is. Only thinly wired though, guys. Right, so I've gone on around the center with that one. So I'm going to bring this one around the outer side. I just slide it in, if it will go in. There we go. So that one is sticking out slightly. Now with this one, I'm going to come a bit further down, and I'm going to bring it where it's entwined with the ficus on the inside. So I'm going middle, out, and then middle again. So I'm sticking to the placement of middle and the outer side. I'm not going in. So now we're going on the middle again. we'll mix that up with our ficus. And then back on the outside for our next placement. So we go past the one we've just placed. I'll lift it up this side so I can see. And we're going in the same hole as that one. So that's on the outside. Again, bend it in, give it that shape. They're very fine. I don't know if you can see, guys, but that is how long the stem is, not very long, and that is how fine. It's like a piece of cotton. It's so thin. So back now again on the middle, we are, or top, whichever you want, you know, you call it, and then mix that up with with our ficus. Now because I'm on the, where's the rope? Around here, I'm going to bring one here, but I don't want it as long. So you just pull off your leaves on the bottom to the length of obviously what you would like it. I just measure, that's plenty. Then cut my stem till it's about 2.5 inches long. Gives me plenty of room. And then I'm just bringing it out. So it's got some coming out from there. So I'm now going to go this way. So now we're on the center. We're on the top. Mix that up. In fact, we'll bring it here. I bring it back to bend it, give it a little lift. And you can do that with all of them. Just lift them and give it a curve, and it creates that curved or curvature look instead of them being flat. And you can do that before you place them in, so you can just bend it towards you. As you see, it's got now like an L shape, and then just go down and curve it like that gently. Well, with anything really, especially these with them being so thin. Perhaps have to put a bit more force into them if there was a bit thicker of a stem. I think one more. I'll cut that just slightly down. And we'll go around here. And I always say as well to people, it doesn't have to be the, you know, flowers or foliage perfect. You don't have to have that perfect symmetry. You know, it doesn't have to be that places it. It's got to be right in the same position. Now, people who are absolutely, you know, I don't know what I mean, I'm a professional, but the people who are professionals, who are that really high end professional, they would get tape measures out and measure the, you know, from different areas. I've done it in training and things, but you don't have to. This is just enjoyment. You know what, I may place one here. This is just enjoyment, guys, and I always say have fun. You know, whether it's for a hobby or even a job, you know, enjoy. So I'm going to place one on top here. And I'm going to just mix it in like that. So that now is our fern. I don't need any more of that fern. I don't know what fern it is. Shall we just say garden fern? The common British garden fern. I don't know about in the States or anywhere, guys. I don't know. Forest fern, who knows? So that's that one. Now I want to place in my hydrangeas and then my bow. Now these you can pull off at the top. So if you want them on, you don't want the leaves, save these because they are quite far down. So you could pull these off. If I pull it and put a pick on it and add these to your arrangement if you wish. If not, you know, and sometimes I say if you get too much of a thick stem, but you can pull the head off and use a thinner stem. So I'm going to do that. Let me get my other to show you. I want to show you all different ways. There's got a bit of glue what they came on, so I'm pulling that off, just twisting it slightly, and then it's off. So then you see a hole at there, that angle. So what have I done? Because this hole is thicker than usually what that hole is for these picks, I double up and I use two. So I just dip those in, glue, place them, push in there, wipe the glue off that's seeped out as I push the picks in, and now I have a thinner one. I can save that. I don't want to use these leaves, so I will pop those back on if I take the glue off. Pop them back on, save them for another project that I may want to do, if I want to use the hydrangea leaves as a broader leaf for, you know, any other project. So I'm going to save that as it is. So now I've got the hydrangea here. I want this one about here, so I'm going to do the same with this one. Don't, sometimes guys, if you see a lot of glue on the outside of the flower when you're trying to take them off the stem, don't always pull. I've done it, and by pulling it snaps off and leaves a bit of the stem inside, and you can't get it out all the time. Well, sometimes maybe, but not every time. So I don't take that chance anymore. Let me get the third one. There we go. I've got another 1,000 of these on order. I use them for anything. And if you're not very good with your hands as well, you've got health issues, arthritis, get some flat nose pliers like this, or needle nose pliers, to help you push them in. Right. I wondered what was happening with that one then. So I want this one around where my hook is, so I want to place that there. So I'm going to cut the stem. And slide that in. Now you can put it, if you want it flatter, just keep sliding down and then you get that. And it's all like, now you can see where the ficus is brilliant stuff. It makes it, you know, look like it's all embedded within itself, and the flowers are all growing within the ficus. Again, I know some people don't like it. Just lift that leaf up. Do the same with this one. Push and then do that. And then lift out. Fluff it up, and then the other one will go here. So I've got 3 big hydrangeas around each other, and that's why I wanted to get in our ficus in, especially so I could sit the floral amongst the beautiful foliage. If you don't like ficus, you can use ruscus. Italian ruscus, and that's that one. So now I want to attach our bow, and I have placed on the wire, the floral wire at the back, if you can see, and I've got a weaving needle. So one at a time I grab each wire individually, do a U-turn or U-bend over it, see where I'm going to be putting my bow. Just move things out of the way so I can see. Take the weaving needle through our grapevine wreath, through to the back, as you can see, just like sewing. Then I've got the other one like I've just spotted here, and then I'll bring this one not in the same place because it needs to attach itself around something for you to twist. So I've got that. I just want to now manipulate the ribbon and make sure I've got it in the position I'd like it to be. Bring some of our foliage up. So I'm just weaving away. So I'd like the ribbon, I wanted the ribbon sitting in between the hydrangeas, nice and snug, like so. So I'm happy with that. Turn it over, get your 2 wires and twist. I twist again at about 1 inch, and then I cut the excess off. I can cut with these because they've got cutters on as well. Get this little bit that's sticking up, if you can see, turn it back over and push it back inside our wreath. And I tend to use my snips or these needle nose pliers because they've got a bendy bit here to push in and flatten it a little bit more. So there is your beautiful, again, bring foliage in with your ribbon to make that look really pretty. got foliage under here. Bring that in as well. Just place that under there. So now that is our beautiful hydrangeas placed in. So I don't know, I'm not putting any of that in, that'll spoil it. So I've got I'm going to place a few of these in. I've cut some off before I started. So I was looking at which ones. Let's just 3. I tend to work in odd numbers. If I can get that one out, I can't. Oh, I don't know why I don't just take the band off. I do it all the time. Three, 4. Oops, 5. Let me just place that. I'm gonna as well. I've got this. Where's that hydrangea? I want one here to bring it out from the side. So let me just place this one in from the ficus. And that's another thing you can do if you see something where it's missing a bit of a certain foliage, put a bit more in. Oh, I haven't placed it in. I thought it felt a bit loosey-goosey. Silly me. I think I have now. It's a bit tighter. There. So you've got a bit of that ficus around the edge as well, showing. So, with typical me. Now I know we've got our fern here, but I want to incorporate some of this fern, you know, within as well. I don't just want, or because I've got one fern, you know, it doesn't mean to say you can't have another type of fern added in. You know, that this is a wider leaf than what these are. These are more like a pine sort of a effect, shape, feel or look. I don't know what the word is. I'm going to place one. Again, I'd want one around here. Let it just hang how it hangs. I did cut one down short. Oh, here's my cat. Stay there, stay there. Mum is filming. Not right in front. So I've cut a stem really far down. It's only about just a little, about 3 mil under an inch. I want to bring this one maybe around here, leaning over there around our bow area. So I don't want a big stem. I could easily cut down some of the petals, but it doesn't give me any, it's not anything to put us picking to make it shorter. So I've only got a small little bit. So what I'm going to do to shorten the length of it is lift it towards me and just give that little bend like that. I just wanted to add a little bit of interest going inwards like that with it. Hi hon, thank you very much. And then we'll place the other. Oops, I've just got it on my hand. I'm going to bring one on the outer side. I space them nice and individually, you know, lift that one up so that one can be seen. If I feel like I'd like, you know, another one coming from there, which I might, and then have some ranunculus or whichever, or maybe even a white hydrangea. If I just get that one and sit that, I can't hold them right, sit that one in between. I could have a third one coming out here, so we've got that effect. So in fact that might be quite a nice feature. Or again, we could have our ranunculus sat there. It doesn't matter, or a bit of both. So let's lift up our foliage again. Make sure it's the right way. Bring that through. And when you're doing arrangements like this, come on out of the way. No, well, you can't sit there. Show everybody that you're around. We know you're here. Don't play. Mind you, no, don't, because it's cold. Stay in. Yeah, it doesn't mean that as well you've got to have all your foliage, unless you're having it in a certain design where it is, you're wanting it to look symmetrical or anything. If you're not, it doesn't mean to say that you can't have your foliage, like these ferns especially, going off in different directions. You know, that's the beauty of it. Oh, let me cut one off. I may want more. Let me take the tag off. I don't like working around the tag. Again, lazy me. You see, these, you get them where there's 3 on one stem. I pull them off, okay, so I can use and get the most out of the bush or the stem. So I just dip them in, glue. If you've not got a glue pan, use your glue gun. Any glue that seeps out as I push them in, I wipe off. Now I like things like this with a curl, because to me that's natural. You know, it happens like that on your garden. It adds again a little bit extra interest to see it looking natural. So I do like things like that. I keep catching the stem, and I'm going to go here with it, and then I want one here. Just twist and bend. Bring it up. We will fluff up our bow. Again, it's just, it happens every time. It gets, you know, with you placing things in, it gets squashed. So I tend to fluff it up at the end. So that's our fern. I don't think I need any more of that in. Oops. Let's place this on. Don't need any more of that. So that's what we've done so far. Let me just, I can see see that going out. That's got no leaf on it. But on the back, there's no stems have popped through. It's still nice and tidy. So nothing's going to scratch anybody's door. Right, now I'll save them, I don't know. We've got these little white hydrangeas. Let me see if I place in one, or I think it's got to be a white, and then so what I'm going to do with this, where I've put those three, that triangular position with our ferns, I'm going to place that. I want to bring up some ficus with it as well. I'm going to place that in there. Again, just where, so that's on the inside. I'm now going out on the outer side here, because I want to bring white around here as well. That was a bit squashed. Fluff it up. I'll put one here. I'm going to lift this up and put it under, but on the inside. So it's got a little bit of ficus around it. Place it there so it's not too much. Then I'm turning, let me just push that a little bit more. Oops. And I'm getting the others. And I'm going to bring this one on the outer side as well. I was asked if I can do compact wreaths, you know, or am I just somebody who likes to just do airy wreaths. Oh no, I can do compact. So I thought with this one I'll make it compact, and show you at the same time. Let me get that piece of grapevine. And then show you as well what can be done on a smaller wreath and how much you can get in. So that's that. So we've got, oops, oh that was good. We've got that at the moment where it's nice and compact. It's lovely and compact here, and we've got our foliage. I keep feeling that there's a piece of wood what's scraping along. I don't know if it's that little bit or if it's that. Something's catching on my mat. Or is it that? No, it's not that. Let me just snip that little bit down, just in case. That, I'm going to do the same, go a little bit shorter. And again, if you feel anything like this is catching on your workbench or anything, just go and feel and have a look, because if it's catching on your workbench, it may catch on a door when it's up there. I will know. It's usually the little hard bits that are sticking off of a twig. But I will know. That's better. So I must have got it. So now for our ranunculus. Let me grab my drink, because my hubby has brought it in. We've got still quite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements left here still. So it's going to be fun. I've still got the ficus. I may want to add more ficus, but now with our ranunculus, I'm going to place them around where our I nearly said hyacinth, hydrangea is. So I'm grouping the flowers together. I'm going to bring something on the inside as well, because there's a gap here. So I'm grouping again the flowers with each other. If I can get it. There we go. Consider that one going in the middle. So I'll keep it there to remind me. So place that there. So cut those down now. Go under where the bow is. Get the glue off my hands. And group them again on the bottom. Caught something on a leaf. So they're grouped at the bottom, and then I've got the one in the centre. I may bring out, or may I put a Queen Anne's lace there? Let's have a look. I'll put Queen Anne's lace there. So I could bring this one out here in this gap here at the side. Try to find the correct position, or should I say, no, it's too long, the stem. I'm going to shorten it. get these glue strings off that are attached. All right. So now, do I place? No, I don't want those in. I've chopped some of this down. I've chopped a couple of small pieces off this stem, or off, I keep calling it a stem, off this bunch. Where are they? Here. Just to add in a little. That's a long one. You see, these are too long. I wouldn't want them that long. I'm sure I did another one. Just by adding something again with a little bit of different texture. So before I do that, I'm going to put in the Queen Anne's lace. And I want one coming from the centre. By having again something white around your bow, that's going to sort of like enlighten your bow as well. Not, oh, I've just pulled a flower off. Not just your foliage and floral. It does do it for your bow as well. If I can get it in. I can't see. Like that. Oh, it's tangled. There we have it. Not very secure, guys, so I'm going to take that off, use another one, make sure the stem's slightly longer, so I've got a bit more to play with. Lift up all my floral and foliage. Better, much better. Now this has just come off from somewhere. I can't see where from, and if I sit here all day, oh my good gracious me, so I can't see it, but I will search after, and if I still can't see it, then I'll just not be able to place it in. So I will save that. Let me just have a drink. Right, we'll use this. And I'm going to place a Queen Anne's lace on the end as well, on each top and bottom. You know, I always say what you're placing in and around the centre, bring to the edges to give that pretty, you know, flow, as well as it being pretty and balanced. Right, I've just felt something, yeah. That went through. I'll just check that it's not going to come. Oh, there's that sticky thing. It was hidden by my, what's it called? So that is in by my hook. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to bring 1 round here and then 1 down here. So then that's 5. So we've got 3, you could say, around the central point or near the central point. So around the bow area, I'm going to bring 2 more to fill in these gaps here. I don't think we're going to need the mimosa. That's 1, and then we'll bring the opposite one down here. Or do I bring it there? There. You can see more of a gap here. I like to see my bows where they are inside. On some things, on this occasion, I like to see it where it's inside and looks like it's growing out. And I'm going to place just a few of these in, and I'm going to cut some of the larger ones down. So again, to make things go a little bit further, just cut some of your stems down. I want to bring maybe 1 here. Let me just see if I need any on here. I could have some there. See, that's got, I don't want more a tall one, so I'm going to take that single centerpiece out. I'm going to place these in. Again, that's another true thing I'm a believer of. Place things in before you glue them in, and my lovelies, and then you've got a better idea of how it's going to look before you've glued them. Again, I've done it many of times myself, where I've not glued them and thought, I shouldn't have put that one there, and then I've had to take it out. I think that's better there. Again, you see, I can't, right now, trying to make the decision. 1 here. Just I want 1 here. Where's that other one? I need 1 around here because there's a bit of a gap. let me start off placing these in. So I'm happy with where they are. So I'm going to just place those in. I'm placing one either side of our, what that's for, either side of our end, around our end area. I think that was, and then one under our tail end here. That's that one. Let the tail end hang on it onto it, you know, to give that little, again, nice little feature. Move around. I have got a lazy Susan. She just doesn't come out hardly anymore. I always used to use her, guys, always. I don't know why I don't. I need one there, and that's going to bother me if I don't. One here. One on the inside. This one left, and I'm going to place that there. It's a little bit of a gap. Now there's a gap there, so do I? So I'll notice as I was going round, what do I use? The more I use it, should I say, if I use these, I'm going to have to use more to fill in that gap than I would if I had a little bit like this. Let me think, guys. Let me think. I may have had. You see, I said I wasn't going to put a full one in, but instead of keep placing these around and it just being green around the sides again, adding a little bit of colour to the sides as much as what's on top, do I place in the gypsophilia or I've got some darker shade of pink ranunculus. Oh, it's got to be ranunculus. Oh gosh, guys, I am partial to ranunculus. It is a danger zone for me. I love ranunculus. So I've got two shades in here. One's slightly a darker tone than this one. So I may add some of this in instead of it. I don't know how many I want. Oh, here we go, here we go. Let's just see, I may only just need two, guys. Oh, I say that. One. I'm going to place them all around here to start with. So we've got floral on the outer side. 1, 2. Let's bring that where the ranunculus is, or some of the ranunculus. I wanted to perhaps place a darker shade because we've got the darker bit up here with the hydrangea. So that's one moment, guys, one moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll have to be 5. It's going to have to be 5. Right, 5. I'm going to put those down there. I'm not going to touch no more of them because they're a danger to me. So that's what we're going to do. So now I know. I'll take them all out. I know where I need to position them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to do, because like there's a bit here. I've got one here, look. We're going to bring where the lighter ranunculus is. We're going to bring the slightly different tone just under it around the sides here. And because that's how it is, like I say, at the top with the darker hydrangea, let's bring a bit of darker ranunculus down at the bottom. So let's go. So I'm going to just slightly if I can see, bring it there. I'm not having as close into the centre. It's coming out a little bit, you know, so you can see them. So everywhere where there's a light ranunculus, there's going to be a dark one. Just underneath of it. Or around our side. I can't help myself. I think they are beautiful. Get that bud sticking up a little bit. So we'll go under here. And look how much you can get in a small wreath, guys. You know, something very thin. Because I've seen a lot of comments again where people are just like, where can I get a big wreath, a thick wreath from? And it makes my eyes, you know, it makes me think, oh bless. you know, you don't really need to, but again, you know, personal preference, because little ones will just hold as much. I think it's the chunky willow vine, grapevine, that appeals. It does to me, I will be honest, you know, it does appeal to me. But if you're on a budget, you have to make do, don't you guys? You have to make do. So I've got one out more than I needed. In fact, I may place that in the centre. Place that there. Give that a life in the centre of the arrangement. Let's just pop the beautiful thing in. With the rest. So guys, I think if I just hold it up, let me get rid of that glue string as well. You see, another tip, if you get glue, I've got glue on one of the ficus leaves. I've left it till it's set and it's gone hard. It's easier then to just peel off in your hands. Instead of trying to get it while it's hot, it will stretch, either pull on the leaf and stretch it or tear the leaf off. So there's no, none of our stems popping through the back. It's lovely and neat and tidy for the customer. And again, the bow, I've just placed, you know, lovely, set deep within, filling up space. And big headed flowers, you know, the less you have to place in it. I want, you know me guys, I like things big and full, but I wanted to show you what you can do. Bring the tail ends of your ribbon in and, you know, mix them up within the arrangement so they look like they're growing. This is growing from the top, this tail end is growing from out the side with leaves on the top. This one is growing up above, but you can just give it a little bend like that, make it curve over, or just lean it under something. And again, that one's from the top, and have things growing like that. So that is lovely and full. I think something's needed here though, just something here. I don't know whether to double up on the Queen Anne's lace. Let me just cut one off. I may have to. Maybe get a little piece again. Just try things like this. A little piece of foliage. No, it's got to be something. It may have to be both of those actually. So I don't just want that sticking out on its own. So I may put that there, that there. Did I get another one? Another one. Place that that side. I just think that, and it's here as well. Oh, that should be there, that's why. So I don't know, I think that's too much. That's telling me too much. Where's that? Let me see, guys. Let me see. Or do I just place in one? No. now, that becomes a bit odd. Right, so it's gonna maybe have to be I can get it. Something bushy like that. So if I place these in, oh, here comes my cat again. So I'm going to place this bit of ficus in, one either side of the Queen Anne's lace. So I will just balance that out. It doesn't matter if it's covering some of your floral, that's okay. You know, natural look is what I go for. There's a bit there as well. And then I will tidy it all back up, guys. Just trying to see. Place that. And just spread it around so it fills up that space. I may just bend that a little bit. That looks better. Better. Yes, definitely. Right, so that's our project for today, where we've used, I'll say used, incorporated obviously the bow, made our big hydrangeas sit around the bow as well, and also, it's alright guys, I'm just moving so I don't stand on things, and also bring in some smaller floral and some Queen Anne's lace, which is quite delicate. Well, I find it's delicate. To place in, just to make it look a bit more, I say dreamy. I find Queen Anne's lace is quite dreamy, and I think it's wonderful. I just get these out of the way, and by adding a lighter texture, you know, a flocked ruscus, it's light in colour, you know, against all the other tone of green. It sets anything off. It's compact. Again, I do compact. Some of my customers like compact arrangements. I've just done one. I've got another one on order to do again. Another 80 centimetre wreath, which this started off as 12-inch. Let's see if I do it from the, So we've now gone to 20-inch. So we've added on 8-inch, you know, just going from here to here with the thickness. See, now with here, from this side it comes out to around 16-inch, but from this side, from your there, you're coming out at 20 because there's nothing here. So you will have a different dimension when there's nothing on one side, 2 and 1 where there is something. So, but again, it's beautiful. It's not what I always do, you know. I like wispy, as you know. I like airy arrangements. It's just something I wanted to show that you could do, you know, if you prefer the compact, but also basically because somebody asked me if I just do wispy and airy. I wanted to show them, you know, I did reply and say no, I don't. I will do a video on one, you know, please keep a lookout for it. And then excuse me, I wanted to also do what I said on a smaller wreath, thinner wreath, to show you how much you could actually get in on one of these wreaths, which is quite a bit, guys. Nice and full. I'm going to place this on the easel. I'm going to stand the camera upright. Let's just get it up. It's rather pretty, but I like pink. Why I like anything, me guys. I just love any colour. I can't help myself. So let's bring that down a bit because I think that's too high. Or let's just turn it around, and I'll know more when I come and see it, when I bring the camera up. Bring it up, just come back a bit. Can you see that, guys? I think so. Just move my chair. Isn't she pretty? Yes? So, on a small 12-inch thin, very thin grapevine twiggy wreath, we've got our ranunculus in 2 different tones, the baby pink and the slightly darker or off a bit, than the baby pink. Just checking it out to make sure it's all done right. We've got our pink, I think it's Boston fern, our, I'll call it garden fern, common fern, our ficus, our flocked ruscus, and of course we've got our Queen Anne's lace. We've got our white hydrangea that I pulled off of a big head and placed on picks, and then also our big pink or 2-tone pink hydrangeas. And then we've also got our bow that I wanted. I didn't want the bow to be a statement piece. I wanted the hydrangeas to be my statement piece. So my thought when I started, because I did have a plan, so my thought when I started was sink it in the bow, get it to grow away out from the foliage and florals around it, so it becomes part of the floral foliage, that it's not out on the outside of everything, it's growing around and within the elements. Because if you have well, my personal opinion is, if you have a big bow and it sits on top, it's because you want that bow to be a statement piece or to be noticed more than anything. I didn't really want that, but I wanted a bow in it, but I wasn't so bothered about it being so noticeable. So, but again, adding a bow will take up some of that space, you know, which will then, you won't have to place in as many elements again, which is a good thing, you know, and they are pretty, guys. And you know, with the hydrangeas, depending on the size of the head, I've got the heads that are like the size of my hand, and I've got big hands. I'd say I've got men's hands. My sister says the same thing. We've both got big hands. And the thing is, if you have big, you know, flowers like that, like especially the hydrangeas, you're gonna use a lot of space. Again, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because then if it comes to selling it, you're not spending a lot of, in a good way, you know, for yourself. You're not placing a lot of your money into the wreath to, you know, because you may not get a profit out of it if, you know, you're placing everything in you can think of. Use the space wisely, and place foliage around it, and then you won't place as much in, but you'll still get the beauty, you'll still get the, you know, the profit, the sale, and things like that. And that will help you along the way. You know, it's just business, guys, you know. But again, on a small wreath, I wanted to show it you on a small wreath, a thin wreath, and also using the elements where you could spread them further, you know, like I did with the hydrangeas, took them off the head, you know, and things like that, like the ranunculus, I pulled them off. Not the ranunculus, sorry, the ruscus. Things like that. I wanted to show you what you could do, you know, with the ficus. It's a cheap foliage, granted it is, guys. Some people think it's cheap and nasty. It's a wonderful cheap and nasty foliage, so thanks for informing us. You know, I love it. The variegated foliage, you know, the ficus and everything, it's just wonderful, because you can use that to your heart's content, and you can place it anywhere at the back to support whatever is in front. And you'll see the odd little leaf popping out. You may place in like all the stuff I did, but you don't. Where can you see it all at the front where I placed it? You can't, guys, because there's things on top of it. You just see the odd one at the back, which adds to your arrangement. So I always say, have ficus on standby. It's a good little earner for you, a very good little earner, and it helps you again if you're budgeting. So if you don't like ficus and you really don't like, go for ruscus, willow, you know, things like that, Italian rusco, longleaf willow, eucalyptus, all sort of greenery like that. What, you know, a bit of a solid leaf, they're just as good. Just as good. In fact, everything is just as good. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope I've sort of like gave you a few tips, and you may already know them, guys, but you know, for the few people that have asked, actually, you know, private messaged me and asked me, this is what I'm, you know, I'm doing it for them as well as yourselves. And a compact arrangement, cheap, you know, wonderful, beautiful, stunning, if I do say so myself. And he agrees, because he's not meowing, so I know he agrees, he's comfortable with it. So please subscribe, share and like. Just press that subscribe button, guys, you know, share it to everybody. Just come along and have some fun and see what we're making and we're creating, and I hope it gives you some inspiration and some wonderful ideas of maybe colours or styles for yourself to create for somebody who you love, or as a hobby, or for yourself, or to even sell. So thanks for joining me today. I've had a wonderful day because I've had a hectic weekend. Spring cleaning. I don't stop. Spring cleaning. And I hope, you know, that you all join me again tomorrow. And have fun. Take care. God bless. Keep your comments coming, guys. And again, please subscribe, share and like. It helps me out and I really truly am grateful. So have a wonderful day, guys. Bye for now. God bless. Bye. Let's just take that out. Let's get a close-up of you. Oh no, gosh. Don't you want a close-up? No, alright, okay. There's the what I call common fern, guys. What we have in our gardens, or in the forest actually. There's a beautiful ranunculus. Look at the seeds in the centre, so realistic. Now that one's a darker tone. So if I get the lighter one, you may see them if I bring those. Not much difference, guys, but not very much. And the seeds in the centre, I just can't get over how realistic they are. That's the two-tone hydrangea as well, with the white hydrangea that I pulled off the flower head and used singular, our flocked ruscus, our Boston fern. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm sure it's the Boston fern. And then our ficus, guys. Don't ever disrespect the ficus. Oh, and our beautiful Queen Anne's lace. I love that. You know, if I had a choice to choose from the erygnium, you know, the thistle, or the sea holly, or Queen Anne's lace would always come tops for me. Always. It's a beautiful one. And then there is our ruffled taffeta ribbon, embedded within the flowers. Again, as you can see, within the leaves. Bring your leaves forward when you've got, you know, bows. Bring them forward, or if you can't, just pop a little bit of a leaf in there and glue it in around the centre or around some of the loops to make it look like it's coming, you know, things are growing through it. So I hope you've all had a wonderful time. Again, please join me tomorrow, guys. I love you all. I'll be off to my sister's tonight. Again, I've got to take some more stuff. It's my sister who's making all the lollipops and things. I've got her onto it. She's doing it for me. So, bless her. So I'll see you later on, guys. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful evening. Bye for now.